everybody. This is Kevin Davidson, your host for Kevin's Corner, Real Estate from a Marketing Perspective. And this is episode number 57, so we're getting up there. So I want to thank everybody that's ever watched my podcast. And I want to thank all the guests, the agents and vendors that have been on the podcast. We're going to keep doing this for another 57 episodes. I also have to thank my support staff, which is Jennifer Smidas, the area president, Caitlin Kornick, Devin, the escrow officer here in Sugar Land office, and Wendy Santana over in Richmond, and of course the assistants, processors, and everybody that works in our offices. I couldn't do the podcast without you. Also, if you're a real estate agent or a vendor that operates in the Fort Bend County area and you want to be on the podcast, give me a call, 832-654-0527, or email me at kevin.davidson@stewart.com, and I'll be happy to put you on the podcast. In saying that, let's get started with episode number 57. So this is actually a really cool episode for me because my first guest is a real estate agent that I met 40 minutes ago. Literally.
Yes.
I was supposed to have another one of my friends on, and she couldn't make it, so she asked her friend, Jenny Rendon,
Correct.
from TRUSS Real Estate. She was so happy, and I'm so happy she was nice enough to come from wherever you drove in from to be on the podcast. So say hi to everybody. Introduce yourself.
Hello. Yes, as Kevin said, my name is Jenny Rendon. We TRUSS Real Estate. We work mostly new properties, new developments in the suburbs and inner loop.
Okay.
Mostly.
So the first thing we have to address is your accent. So
Yes.
you're obviously not
Native.
American like me.
No.
So tell everybody, if you don't mind, where you're from.
So I'm from Colombia.
Okay.
I came 10 years ago to the United States.
10 years ago.
Here to Texas.
And I think you mentioned to me when I first met you that you used to be, either you have your accounting degree
Correct.
and or you were an accountant in
I was an accountant in Colombia.
Colombia.
Correct.
And you came to the United States, and would you say that they didn't recognize your degree, or you had to get...
They did recognize it, but then I had to do the exam to pass the bar to be a CPA.
Okay.
So I decided to get my real estate license instead.
So why did you decide to get a real estate license as opposed to being a football player?
Well, I was always in love with real estate since I read the Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Mm-hmm.
I read that in college, and since then I fell in love with real estate, and I was thinking one day I want to invest in real estate. So the initial thought was to invest.
Mm-hmm.
But since I didn't have the money yet, so I'm like, okay, let's start from
Let's get
scratch.
into the industry and then go from there.
Right.
Okay. Since you've gotten your real estate license, I believe you told me that you mainly deal with new builds.
Correct.
Correct. You've been an agent for what, 6 years now?
6 years already.
Have you always dealt with just new builds?
No, I actually started specializing in apartment locating.
Mm-hmm.
So I do luxury apartments and apartments in general in Houston. And my idea and strategy was to start with rentals and then convert those rentals to buyers.
Did you hear everybody? Did you hear what she said? If you're a new agent, work with renters because you can turn them into buyers, okay? And then what do buyers turn into later in life? Sellers. And if they sell their house, they're going to need another place to live usually. So they're a buyer again. 4 transactions, 1 person, but you got to put in the time.
And sometimes it's more than 4 transactions.
Sometimes it is, especially if you're working with an investor.
Right.
What is it about real estate that you like? Why do you chose to be a realtor? Did you make the right decision?
I think I did. Real estate changed my life for better.
Okay.
I became a better person. It developed me personal and professionally a lot. And the ability to help people to get their dream home or their dream to owning a home is very exciting. Like, I always get so excited. Closing is always so beautiful.
I was going to say, you probably like the closing part of it because then it's done and you help them get their property.
I actually enjoy all the process, and let me tell you what, I'm with a company that is mostly with financial literacy, so I enjoy all the process because I guide my clients to get the most cost-effective borrowing for their homes.
Mm-hmm.
So I save them tons of money, and that feels very good.
Yeah, yeah, you probably have a lot of happy customers.
Yes.
So you weren't always working with new builds. You were working with the renters and everything. What part of town do you like? Do the new builds that you work with? What part of town are they in?
I usually work in the suburbs with the new construction, but right now I'm very focusing on areas that has a lot of development right now, mostly in the inner loop,
Inside the
close
loop, okay.
close to the loop, and then these properties are like getting equity so fast because all of the developments around. So I enjoy like giving that to my clients, so they're not only getting a property, they are getting an investment that is going to produce their money. So
It's going to go up on value.
yes,
I mean, home prices right now.
I mean that's what data show us before. So
Mhm.
unless something very different happen,
Mhm.
that's how it's gonna go.
Yeah, you when someone approaches you that wants to buy a home, what's your process? What kind of questions do you ask them? What are things that you say they should prepare for?
So, every client is different. Every client has different needs, and some of them wants to live close to the best schools for raising kids. Some of them wants just to own a home so their money don't lose value on time.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them wants investments and wants to make money with that, and that is the only purpose.
Yeah.
So it depends on the purpose. Also, something very important, I work with a lot of first-time home buyers,
Okay.
and something important to ask them is how long they are planning to live in this house.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yes.
And if they say just a few years, what's your response?
Well, there is a break point for their down payment. That is very important for them to acknowledge.
Mm-hmm.
So I take my clients through all the financing process. I do a soft pre-qual, so I know what loan program fits them better.
Mm-hmm.
Because most realtors don't know, but there's tons of loan programs
Right.
for every different type of person or areas. Some areas has loan programs that has a lot of benefits, and people don't know this. And other lenders, there's few lenders that have programs that are very saving money for people, but you have to know what you're doing
Right.
to get there.
And that's part of your job as a real estate agent, to be able to guide your clients through the maze of all
Correct.
these different loan programs and what might be best for them. We're fixing to have a mortgage lady up here in a couple of minutes in segment number 2 to talk about that.
Correct.
So let's talk a little bit about, you've been in the business for 6 years. And up until now, how do you promote your business? How have you been getting your leads, your business?
So it's mostly referrals and social media.
What social media platforms are you on?
It's mostly Facebook, YouTube, and obviously Instagram. It's my
Instagram.
favorite.
That's your favorite.
I'm trying to transition to TikTok, but not there yet.
Why is Instagram your favorite?
I made a lot of my clients there, my
Really?
rental clients.
Okay.
Mhm.
And what are you putting on Instagram that's making you get these rental clients?
Well, I actually switched brokerages like couple of months before, so I've been a little in and out because I'm adjusting to the new way that I'm working with. But I was usually it's being constant with the content, consistency,
Exactly,
yes. And that's something that I have to improve,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now, you just met Nas, who's going to be up in segment number 2. So she is an expert at TikTok videos. So before we leave, you need to get her number.
Yes.
Because her and her friend Shiva are the best.
That's great.
And we'll show you some before we leave, right?
Yes.
Right?
I'm going to
Nas is
follow
sitting
you.
right over there. Yeah. So what about?
So yeah, when I meet with my clients, I make sure to have a first meeting to go through all the process and what kind of loan fits them better. I do a DTI.
Debt to income ratio?
Yes.
What's a good debt to income ratio?
Well, something better than 55,
Okay.
which
Yeah.
is,
Well,
I mean,
the
40.
lower-
We have 42 for FHA and 55 for conventional, right? Ah, no, it's the opposite.
Yeah,
Okay, we have FHA 55 and
Mhm.
conventional at 42. So anything before 42 is great.
Awesome. Well, then I should qualify for all kinds of loans. I don't have any debt except for my house.
Oh, that's cool.
what
No
is
credit
it-
cards?
One.
Okay.
And there's never anything on it. So,
Oh.
what is something marketing-wise that you might want to do in the future that you haven't done in the past?
Well, I dare to come here because I need to put myself more in camera.
Look at see.
So
Get
that's
yourself
one
out
of,
there.
yes. So that's something that my colleagues always tell me, like, put yourself in camera, put yourself in camera. So that's what I'm here, like, breaking the roof.
The ceiling. So let me ask you, since you brought that up, what was your first reaction when Maria called you and asked you to do this?
It's attraction,
Really?
the law of attraction.
You didn't say like, no, I don't want to do this or anything, but you were actually excited about doing it?
I was like, actually, I don't have to tour tomorrow at 3 p.m. So, okay, let's go.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. What are some of the? Give me a couple of examples of some things that you might want to do in the future besides, camera and stuff like that.
Well, what I want to do is educate buyers about the process and all the alternatives that they have,
Mhm.
because some buyers don't know that they can afford a home right now and they are paying rent, putting their money in the trash practically,
Mhm.
or paying another person's mortgage, as we always said. So I want to be with more educational videos for my buyers.
That's good. And then what are you going to do with those videos? Where are you going to put them?
I guess YouTube,
Yeah,
social
YouTube.
media.
Put them on YouTube, and then you take the YouTube link from the YouTube and you post it on social media, your website. She knows what she's
I'm
talking
learning.
about. Yeah, she's learning. So you are from Colombia, so
Correct.
I'm going to step on a limb and say that you probably speak Spanish
Better than English.
better than English. So why don't you say something to the Hispanic crowd that's going to be watching the podcast that you'd like them to know about you, and say it in Spanish.
Bueno, mi nombre es Jenny Rendon y actualmente estoy también ayudando a compradores en el exterior, especialmente en Latinoamérica, que quieren invertir su dinero en los Estados Unidos para dolarizar su patrimonio. Así que si hay alguien interesado en comprar en español, aquí estoy a su disposición.
She does look a lot more comfortable in Spanish than she does in English, doesn't she?
Of course.
Wow, she just ran off with that. Awesome.
Good information.
Very good information. What's one thing that you want anybody and everybody that would be interested in real estate, if they found you on the internet, if they found you some way with your marketing, what's the one thing that you want everybody to know about you as a real estate agent if they were to call you and hire you? What makes you unique?
I think the way my financing literacy, it's
Mhm.
my power there, because I since I'm in this new broker, I feel like I'm saving more money to my clients.
Mhm.
Thousands of dollars, like there's program that doesn't have like PMI or
Mhm.
things like that. That's like roughly 300 in a 400 house,
Mhm.
400,000. So being able to give that to the buyers, and that's one
So
of the
you can-
things.
You provide information and stuff that will help your buyer make a better educated decision on what they're going to buy, how much they're going to spend,
Right.
the mortgage programs that they can get into. You just help them make the best decision.
Also, something very important is to know what materials are being used in the house, because
Oh,
that make
okay.
a lot of difference, like recognizing the types of ceilings, types of
Mhm.
floor, like looking at the countertops and know what quality is that is very
Mhm.
important too, to guide our clients to make the best decision.
Yeah, because depending on the type of materials that you put in the house and upgrades will determine whether the price is going up or down.
Yeah, and most realtors tend to compare houses without taking that into account.
Mm.
So you really want a realtor that knows all of these things and can compare a house and know the value of a house. Like,
And that's you,
Just-
right?
and that's me.
That's Jenny. So tell everybody what social media platforms you're on.
So I am most Oh, sorry. I'm most active in Instagram, which is jennyrendon.htx.
You're on Facebook. And
I'm
you're
in Facebook as Jenny Rendon Realtor, and also you can contact me at my number. You can text 832-808-9667.
Can they email you?
Yes, they can email me to jenny@trusstx.com.
Do me a favor. This is more for me, but even might be somebody out there watching. Spell your last name.
My last name is Rendon.
Okay, because that's part of your
Email.
and part of your. So, because I would misspell it and never find you and get upset. And so, give me your phone number one more time.
So my number is 832-808-9667. You can contact me with any question of real estate.
She's there to help. She's there to serve. All right, guys. And if you speak Spanish, don't be afraid to talk to her in Spanish because obviously she likes.
I speak better Spanish than English.
Better Spanish than English. So, thank you very much for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
I literally just met her an hour ago, so this is really cool. So, Jenny Rendon from TRUSS Real Estate. Give her a call. We'll be right back. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with segment number 2 with the one and only Nas Carey from Revolve Mortgage. Be right back.